The moon. It hangs in our night sky, a silent, steady companion. For all of human history we have looked up at it, we have told stories about it, we have dreamed of visiting it, and for a brief shining moment in time we did. Humans walked on another world. That was a long time ago. Now the dream is alive again. A new generation is preparing to make that journey. We are going back to the moon. This time it will be different. This time, we plan to stay. The journey is not just about planting a flag, it is about building a future where humanity is a multi-planetary species. Think about that for a moment. Our celestial neighbor, just 250,000 miles away, has been waiting patiently. It holds secrets of our solar system's birth. It holds resources that could power our future. It offers a stepping stone to worlds far beyond, like Mars. The call to return is not just a whisper, it is a roar. It is the sound of human curiosity, our unyielding desire to explore, to understand, and to reach for the stars. To understand where we are going, we must first look back. We must remember the Apollo missions. In the 1960s, the world was a different place. Two great superpowers were locked in a Cold War. This rivalry extended beyond Earth, into the vast emptiness of space. The space race was on. The goal was audacious. It was to land a human on the moon and return them safely to Earth. President John F. Kennedy declared this goal, and a nation rose to the challenge. It was a time of incredible focus, innovation, and courage, a time when "we choose to go to the moon" became a rallying cry for a generation. Between 1969 and 1972, humanity achieved the impossible. 12 men, 12 American astronauts walked on the lunar surface. The first were Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin of Apollo 11. Armstrong's words, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind," echoed across the globe. These missions were short sprints. The astronauts stayed for only a few days at most. They collected rocks, they planted flags, they conducted experiments, and then they came home. They were pioneers, in the truest sense of the word. The Apollo missions were not just about politics or exploration. They changed us. But then, it stopped. After Apollo 17 in December 1972, we did not go back. For more than 50 years, no human has set foot on the moon. The boot prints are still there, perfectly preserved. Now those monuments are about to get some new company. The silence is about to be broken. So, who is leading this grand return to the moon? The primary force is NASA, the same agency that took us there before. But this isn't a solo act, it's called Artemis, a massive international collaboration. Team Earth, the European Space Agency, the Canadian Space Agency, the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, space agencies from many other countries. They bring technology, expertise, and resources. This global partnership makes the mission stronger. Artemis is a multi-step campaign. Artemis 1, an uncrewed test flight that orbited the moon in late 2022. It was a spectacular success. It tested the new rocket and the Orion spacecraft. Artemis 2, next up, 4 astronauts will fly around the moon and back. First humans that far since Apollo. Artemis 3, the landing. Target, around 2026, 2027, dates may shift. 2 astronauts will land near the moon's south pole, a region we've never visited before. Artemis will include the first woman, and the first person of color to walk on the moon. A powerful statement. Space is for everyone. Private industry is a major player. Companies like SpaceX. NASA has partnered with SpaceX to develop the human landing system. The public-private model brings innovation and efficiency. It lets NASA focus on the bigger picture. The Artemis missions may seem like a sequel to Apollo, but they are a completely different story. Apollo was a sprint. Artemis is a marathon. The goal of Apollo was to get there, plant a flag, come home. It was a demonstration of technological and political power. The goal of Artemis is to establish a long-term, sustainable human presence on and around the moon. We are not just visiting this time, we are learning how to live and work on another world. During Apollo, the command module orbited the moon, the lunar module descended to the surface. Artemis is more complex. It involves a small space station called the Gateway, placed in a unique orbit around the moon. This gateway will act as a command post, a science lab, a waypoint. Astronauts will travel from Earth to the Gateway on the Orion spacecraft. From there they will board a separate landing vehicle to travel down to the lunar surface. Apollo astronauts were on the moon for a matter of days. Artemis astronauts will initially stay for about a week. Future missions will extend that to months. They will have advanced rovers to travel much farther from their landing site. The plan is to build a permanent base camp, an Artemis base camp at the South Pole. Finally, the very purpose has evolved. Apollo was about winning a race. Artemis is about building a foundation. The moon is no longer just a destination. It's a proving ground. The moon is the stepping stone to the solar system. The journey back to the moon is powered by incredible new technology. At the heart of the Artemis program is the Space Launch System, or SLS. This is the most powerful rocket ever built. It is an absolute giant, standing taller than the Statue of Liberty. Its job is to provide the raw thrust needed to hurl the Orion spacecraft and its crew out of Earth's gravity and on a path to the moon. Seeing the SLS launch is a breathtaking experience, a visceral reminder of the power of human engineering. It is the engine that drives this new age of exploration. Once on its way, the crew will travel inside the Orion spacecraft. This is a state-of-the-art capsule, building on the lessons learned from Apollo and the Space Shuttle. It is designed for deep space missions, equipped with advanced life support, navigation, and radiation protection systems. The European Space Agency provides the service module for Orion, which supplies its power and propulsion. It can support a crew of 4 for up to 21 days. Perhaps the most exciting new piece of hardware is the Human Landing System, or HLS. This is the modern-day lunar module. For the first Artemis landings, NASA has selected SpaceX's Starship. This is a revolutionary vehicle. It is designed to be fully reusable, a key factor in making lunar access more affordable and sustainable. Starship is enormous, offering a spacious interior for astronauts and a massive capacity for cargo. It will be able to deliver the tools, habitats, and rovers needed to build a permanent base. On the surface, astronauts will have a new suite of tools and vehicles. They will wear advanced spacesuits that offer far greater mobility and flexibility than the bulky suits of the Apollo era. They will also have pressurized rovers, which are like small RVs for the moon. These will allow them to go on long-distance journeys of weeks at a time, exploring vast new territories far from the landing site. This technology transforms astronauts from visitors into true field scientists and explorers on another world. Who are the people who will take us back to the moon? Well, they are a new generation of astronauts selected from a diverse pool of incredibly talented individuals. The Artemis team is a group of women and men who are scientists, engineers, pilots, doctors. They've been training for years, preparing for the physical and mental challenges of a deep space mission. They're learning to fly the Orion spacecraft, practicing spacewalks in giant pools, and studying geology to prepare for their work on the lunar surface. These folks are the tip of the spear for all of humanity. This new generation of explorers really reflects the world we live in today. The Artemis program is committed to landing the first woman and the first person of color on the moon. And you know, this is not just symbolic, it is fundamental. It sends a message to children everywhere that they too can reach for the stars. The faces we see inside those helmets will represent all of us. When they walk on the moon, we all walk with them. But the astronauts are not alone. Behind them is a vast army of people on the ground. There are thousands of engineers, scientists, technicians, and support staff at NASA centers and contractor facilities across the country and around the world. The team in Mission Control in Houston will be their lifeline, monitoring every system and guiding them on their journey. A lunar mission is a symphony of human ingenuity, and every single person plays a crucial part. They are our envoys to the cosmos, carrying our hopes and dreams with them on their journey to the moon. Why go back? Why spend all this money and effort to return to a place we have already been? These are fair questions. The answers lie in science, resources, our future as a species. First, the science. The moon is a museum of solar system history. No atmosphere, no active geology. It preserves a record of impacts and cosmic events. Those records stretch back billions of years. By studying lunar rocks and craters, we learn about the early days of Earth, like finding a lost chapter of our own autobiography. We're also going to a new place for new science. Apollo landed near the equator. Artemis is targeting the South Pole. Some craters there are permanently shadowed. They haven't seen sunlight in billions of years. They're incredibly cold. Cosmic freezers. Scientists think these spots hold water ice, deposited by comets and by asteroids over eons. Finding water would be a game changer. Water is life. If we find water ice, we can use it. We can split it into hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen, powerful rocket fuel. Oxygen, what we breathe. This is in situ resource utilization, ISRU. It means living off the land. Produce air and rocket fuel on the moon instead of launching everything from Earth. The moon could become a cosmic gas station to Mars and beyond. Finally, our future. We learn to live and work on another world. Challenge, protecting against radiation. Challenge, generating power. Challenge, growing food. The moon is 3 days away from home. If something goes wrong, we can return relatively quickly. Master these skills here, and we prepare for the longer, more dangerous trip to Mars. Artemis isn't just about the moon, it's about becoming a multi-planetary species. The return to the moon is more than just a series of missions. It is a turning point for civilization. For millennia, we have been bound to this one planet. Now we are taking the first determined steps to change that. The Artemis program is laying the groundwork for a future where humanity has a permanent foothold in the solar system. It is about expanding the domain of life. It's a long-term vision, one that will unfold over decades and generations. The work we do today is for the children of tomorrow who may look up at the moon and know someone living there. This journey should matter to everyone, not just space enthusiasts. The technologies we develop for Artemis will have profound benefits here on Earth. Advances in power generation, water recycling, robotics, and telemedicine will improve our lives in countless ways. The challenges of space exploration push us to be our best selves. They drive innovation, create new industries, and inspire young people to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, math. The cosmos is calling. It invites us to participate, to explore, to understand. We are a curious species. It is in our DNA to see what is over the next hill, beyond the next horizon. The moon is our next horizon. And beyond it lies Mars, and the moons of Jupiter, and the countless worlds that orbit other stars. The journey we are starting now with Artemis is just the beginning of a much grander human story. So when you look up at the moon in the coming years, know that something amazing is happening. Humanity is reaching out again. The story of space exploration is your story. It is our story. It is the story of what we can achieve when we dare to dream, when we work together, and when we have the courage to take that next giant leap.